got the fabric stash. Quilts are flying, colors splash. Pins and patches, stories grow. Stitching secrets we all know. Patchwork of laughter sewn in time. A spool of joy on every line. We chat, we sew, we laugh, we thrive. Stephen and Walter, our life. Sewing tales with every square. Buttons falling everywhere. A crooked seam, but who will care? Iron presses lined so neat. Friendships quilt can't be beat. Patchwork of laughter sewn in time. A spool of joy on every line. We chat, we sew, we laugh, we thrive. Stephen and Walter, our life. Sewing tales with every square. Buttons falling everywhere. A crooked seam, but who will care? Iron presses lined so neat. Friendships quilt can't be beat. Patchwork of laughter sewn in time. A spool of joy on every line. We chat, we sew, we laugh, we thrive. Stephen and Walter, our life. Our Stitch by stitch they weave the tale. A patchwork life where laughs prevail. Patterns clash, but who can tell? Quilted chaos suits us well. Stephen and Walter live on air. Threading humor, they don't care. Teaching, chatting, pulling strings. Life's a quilt of funny things. Pins and needles, jokes abound. Sewing secrets they have found. Fabric flying all around. It's a show where joy is bound. Stephen and Walter live on air. Threading humor, they don't care. Teaching, chatting, pulling strings. Life's a quilt of funny things. Pins and needles, jokes abound. Sewing secrets they have found. Fabric flying all around. It's a show where joy is bound. Stephen and Walter live on air. Threading humor, they don't care. Teaching, chatting, pulling strings. Life's a quilt of funny things. Pins and needles, jokes abound. Sewing secrets they have found. Fabric flying all around. It's a show where joy is bound. Pins and needles, jokes abound. Sewing secrets they have found. Fabric flying all around.
Hello everybody, it's Stephen and Walter, and as you've noticed we have a new opening That is for our live. New picture, new thumbnail, and some theme music as well, which I'm very pleased with. And I didn't write it. No, it is totally generated by AI. And we're going to talk about that in a little bit more detail today as well. But anyways, welcome everybody. So let's see who we have here. Yes, and everything seems to be working.
Write it.
Yeah, so good. And hopefully the technology today will work. Fingers crossed. Okay, so let's see who have we got. Oh, I didn't put up Nightbot. Nightbot's automatically going. I didn't even turn it on. I guess it doesn't turn itself off. Okay. All right. So we've got Barb Olson is number 1 here today, although YouTube's new crowns with the numbers on it, basically it's top fans is number 2. I guess the more you write comments, the higher you go up on the rank. I don't know. I don't care. It doesn't really matter. Russ, of course, is here. We just came off of Russ's sewing shenanigans. More about that a little later on. And Inez is here. And thank you, Inez. My happy birthday, Eve, Stephen. Yeah. And Caroline is here and likes the new picture. I'm glad you do. That picture was taken last summer when we were in Ohio. And yeah, we don't have very many pictures of the two of us that are half decent. So I was glad I could find that one. Sue says, hello, Sue. Fantastic photo on the new slide, you handsome devils. Oh, thank you, Sue. Phyllis is here. Hi, Phyllis. And Barb is here. Sue likes the new theme song. Thank you. And Julie's here. And Susan is here as well. And Kathy. Yeah, the song is kind of a bit of a riot, isn't it? And Mary is here. And she's putting a binding on a quilt. Good. And Bonbon is here. Hola, amigos. Hola to you too. And Barbara's here. Good evening from England. Loving the theme tune. Jeannie is here. Hi, Jeannie. And Gloria. Suzanne. Seems just like yesterday that I saw a lot of you. And some of you others I just saw half an hour ago as well. Dubrovka is here. Both Dubrovka and Al are here, her husband, from Timmins. Marilyn is here. Alice is here. Lydia's here. Denise. Karen B. Thank you, Mary. Susan is here. The other Susan. We have several Susans and a Suzanne here today. Christine is here. And Grant is here. So, yeah, lots of people here right now. I guess the new song attracted you, right? But before we talk about that, because it's really part of what our theme is today, let's take a look at what we've been working on. And Walter can go first because he's been working mad today and yesterday on my new shirt.
Yeah, so I've got it almost done. I just have to put buttons on it. So that's what it looks like.
Mm-hmm. It's butterflies.
Steve's new butterfly shirt.
And the buttons he's putting on them are glittery.
Yeah.
I mean, in a subtle, tasteful way, of course. That is what I'm calling my London shirt. When we go to London, that's when I'll be wearing that shirt as well. Oh, Sherry's here. Hi, Sherry. And Scott says, can you smoke your shirt? Meaning this one. No. But, yeah, it's my weed shirt. Yeah, very colorful weeds, for that matter. So that's what Walter's been working on for the last couple of days. I finished up a project here. Now we're hoping the technology works. Everybody, cross your fingers.
Yay.
Yay. So I finished this one up today. I was working on it yesterday. It is my Halloween creatures or Halloween characters tabletopper. So yeah, I know we're a ways from Halloween, but not that far. It goes fast. And besides, I've got Christmas things I'll probably want to work on too. So, and I love this particular design, the shape of it, because it fits perfect on the coffee table we have in our family room, which is a round top. And I have other ones that I have made in this same design as well. But I think it's fun. It'll look nice in October on the table. And yeah, that's all I've got to show you at the moment. From there. Oh, no, or do I? Do I have something? Nope, that's down a little bit further on. So let us get back to our viewer screen here. Okay, so what else has been going on? Yes, okay, just right before I forget to tell you, Sewing with Stephen is canceled this coming Wednesday. We will resume 1 week from this Wednesday. Reason being is, on Tuesday, we're going in the late afternoon in to visit friends of ours in Toronto, and we're going out to dinner with them, and we're staying overnight. And by the time we get back out here, plus we have to go to IKEA because Walter's has cleaned out some of his sewing room, and he's going to get some. What are you getting? A
Bookcase.
A Billy bookcase. What are you going to put in the bookcase?
Some books.
Oh, what? You still have books?
Yeah.
How last century?
I still have some books. And then I'm going to pare them down. And I'm going to put some fabric and stuff in it.
Yeah. Yeah, get it up off the floor. Although his sewing room right now is looking pretty good. Mainly because he had to move things around when the window guys came. More about that, too. There's a lot of things today. All over the place. A few more people have come in. Nina is here, and Gloria says, happy birthday tomorrow, Stephen. Thank you. And as says, it's lovely like fall colors. I guess you mean the table runner. Yeah, more like Halloween, though. But it'll go for anything. It's just fun. Okay, so, yeah. So Sewing with Stephen is canceled because we won't get back in time the next day, for it. So you have a week off, people. But, I mean, you had a sewing day on Wednesday with me. You had the Stephen's Birthday Bash pop-up sew day yesterday. And we just finished off with Russ's sewing shenanigans today as well. And the pop-up sew day, I think it was a good success. I think everybody had a good time. Everybody got a prize that were there when prizes were drawn. And yeah, that was nice. I think at the height of it, we had about 44 people. So that was pretty good. And thank you to all of you that came out for the day. I didn't get a heck of a lot done, but that's okay.
Yeah, I was working on my shirt. Wasn't getting too much done with that. And because I was busy watching
Watching the what?
Watching the other people.
Oh, yeah. Voyeur. He is a voyeur. And on Russ's today, we got lots of things done too. And some other people that weren't at the pop-up sew day were on Russ's, which is fine. Nice to have variety. And that was always lots of fun too. So, good job, Russ. You did well. Yep. Okay, so other things that I had been working on. I'll be talking more about this on the Idiot Quilter, but I did finish finally. I got the borders on it. My sister's quilt this past week. And so the top is done. I have the backing fabric ready for it. I just need to get it on Lucy and get it quilted. And I don't think that's going to happen, at least not in the first part of next week, because I might get it on tomorrow with it. But I got to clean Lucy as well beforehand. So if I get it on at a decent time tomorrow, I might actually get it quilted tomorrow. But we'll see. Depends on Lucy's mood. You know, she's like, we need to talk nice to Lucy to get her in the mood for all of this. And for those of you that don't know who Lucy is my long arm. And I didn't name her. She came with that name. APQS names their long arms. And she's Lucy. So that's coming along. Dentist this past week. Yeah. Why do dentists... there's a job if you can stand looking into people's mouths. But really, what they charge... After I had my cleaning 2 weeks ago, the dentist, when she's checking, well, you got a little chip. Just a tiny little chip. She says in a tooth down near the gum line. I'm not even sure where it was. I think it's at the top. It's up in here somewhere. And she says, well, we probably should fill that just to make sure you don't have any problems with it later.
Just to make sure we make a few more dollars.
Just to make sure that, we can send our kids to college, kind of a thing, because you're paying for it. So I went in, and before my appointment was for 9 o'clock in the morning, I get a thing the day before, a text message from their office going, yeah, okay, the dentist that was scheduled to work on your tooth, she's really sick. And I'm saying that with that tone because that's the tone that I actually read in the text message. It sounded like maybe she's sick a lot. She's new, and she's not the main dentist. So the main dentist is on maternity leave. Now she's had her baby already, but I guess they called her in and she was going to work on me, but she couldn't be there. Couldn't make it unless we changed the appointment to about 9:30 in the morning. I said, okay, this seems to be the trend with my dentist. The last appointment I had, they changed 3 times, and now this one as well. So I'm getting a little tired of all of this, but you know, whatever. So I'm there, I'm in the chair, and she's looking, she says, oh yeah, she says, I'll just use I only need to use the drill for a couple of seconds. I just need to rough it up a little bit. So I don't think you'll need any freezing. And I looked at her and I says, oh no, you will be freezing me. And she went, okay then. That's right. And I said, I want it frozen so hard that you can take a ball peen hammer, hit me on the side of the face right here, and I won't feel a thing. And then I'll know. That's when you can get into my mouth with your little drill. So she froze me up and works on the tooth. And she didn't use the drill very much. She was right about that. And she said, now we're just going to smooth it all out. We'll get the stuff in there. And they stick this long thing down your throat. That's what it feels like. And I guess I don't know what it is. It's like a laser. It does something to the stuff that they put in to fill.
Yeah, it's I think ultraviolet light,
Yeah.
and I think it hardens it.
Oh, well, whatever. So, yeah, while her assistant is there, was this long pipe in my mouth. The two of them were having this conversation about something or other. And I did kind of get the sense that the dentist working on me, who's the one that basically she owns the place, as far as we know. She bought it out from our tooth fairy dentist, as we call him. And he still works there, but by appointment only, and like 1 day a week, because he's busy pursuing his career in musical theater. Mm-hmm. Yeah, little light in the loafers. That's why we call him the tooth fairy. But I like him. He's a good dentist. But anyways, she was looking for something, and there was some kind of thing going on between the two of them. Like, that was over there, and then she says, oh, well, the other one says, the assistant, I haven't seen it. She goes, oh, I wonder if she took that. And I got the distinct feeling there is no love lost in that office about this new one that's in there. I mean, I only met her briefly when she checked over my teeth the last time I was in. She seemed pleasant enough, but I don't know. So anyways, she did her thing, and of course then I went up to pay the bill. Now luckily we have insurance, so the insurance covers about 85% of most of the procedures that we have. But here you go. But we have to pay up front first, and then the insurance company, they file it electronically right immediately to the insurance company, and in a few days' time automatically deposited into our bank account is the part that they're covering. Well, it was $339. Great money for 15 minutes of work. It wasn't even 15 minutes, because about half that time was me sitting in the chair waiting to harden, like kind of a thing, to go numb. So yeah, $339 for that. So basically, though, it only cost me out of pocket about $60, but nevertheless, holy crap!
Yeah, like we have free medical, but dental is not included.
Yeah. So
most of us have plans for dental.
Yeah. That's one of the disadvantages of living in this country, although it could be worse, I suppose. Just looking at what our people are saying here. Pat Wainwright is here. Hi, Pat. And Janice is here. And Bonnie from Sudbury is here. Thank you, Janice. And Ed says, take a picture of your $200 steak. Oh, yeah, we're coming to that. Diana's here. Hi, Diana. Just back in time to join you. We spent this weekend remembering special events in our life and scattering George's ashes. Okay, well, thank you for bringing us down, but I'm sorry about that. Diana just recently and suddenly lost her husband. So, yeah, we're feeling for you, Diana. Bombo says, my sister's quilt sounds like a title for the design. Oh, yeah. I actually don't have a title for the design. It is my own design. It was supposed to be a quilt of valor, and she liked it, so now she's getting it. I may do another one though in the same design. Actually, I got some ideas to alter it slightly for a quilt of valor. I was calling it sort of maple. What was I calling it?
I don't know.
I don't know, something maple leaf, but there was something to do with that. I can't remember now. Mary says, "Did you gift the baby quilt yet?"
What baby quilt?
What baby quilt? Do you mean the one that I was making for my
Sister?
great niece?
Oh.
My new one, Clara, out in BC? Yeah, that's long gone. Yeah, they got it. I got the picture and everything. Yeah. Pat Jennings says, "Long time no see." Yeah, Pat, like what, 45 minutes ago? True. Okay, so 3D printing. Okay. You know how the 3D printer, you've heard me talk about printer poop, right? On the new bamboo printers, when they change colors automatically, they have to purge the old color out of the nozzle and put the new color in. And what that does is it creates scrap plastic that is dumped out through what they call the poop chute. And these are not terms I have made up.
It comes out of the back of the printer.
Comes out of the back of the printer, and they call it the poop chute, and slides into a box I have back there. And you get quite a lot of poop over time. And some of you that have won things from us on here know what the poop looks like, because you got a bag of special poop. Genuine, the Idiot Quilter genuine poop, 3D printer poop. Well, behind Walter's head there, you see that thing flashing back and forth? That's something that I made with printer poop. It's sort of like a window, what do they call that? A shadow box, and I put lights in it, and it's full of poop. Oh, and there's 3 of them on there. And I did show those at one other time. So like a little piece of decorative art. Because people are always coming up with ways to reuse your poop. Because nobody's come up with a way yet at the domestic level to be able to recycle it and make new filament. It can be done by industries, but their machines and the equipment for it are like tens of thousands of dollars. So people have like DIY ways of doing it, which involve like blenders, electric drills to grind it all up, and then heat and forcing it through a tube and stuff like that. They'll eventually someone's going to create something that will be affordable and work for the home. I would say probably in another year, maybe less. It's the way technology is going these days. And that'll be great because, yeah, there's a lot of waste. Anyways, I found these, and I will switch the camera over. Okay, I call these poop pets. And if you look at them closely, especially the cat, you can see it probably the best. These are printed on the printer, and then the printer pauses at a certain point near the top part of it where there's an opening. You push your poop into it, and then you set it on resume, and it continues to make the finished product. And they've got like a cat, and there's this sheep, and then this comical little dragon and a duck.
So I guess they're animals that are full of shit.
That's right, they are. They're poop pets. Poop pets. Now there's one that's an elephant, and I made him this afternoon, but the hole they left in the elephant to put the poop in is a lot tinier, and you can't take them off the build plate to fill them up. You have to reach into the printer where they are and put them in, and you got to be careful that you don't knock them off the build plate, or, well, that's scrap. Then you have a lot of poop from that. But I thought this was kind of a cute idea. So when we have the next box draw on the first Sunday of next month, you can bet there's going to be a poop pet or two in the box as well. I thought it was kind of a cute idea, though, for that. But there's no way. The amount of poop I've got, I need a lot of these animals to get rid of it. That's not going to happen. But anyways, at least people are trying to think of creative ways to use their poop, to play with their poop, whatever, with that. So, future plans for 3D printing? Well, I would really like to get rid of the KEs, the Creality KEs, and replace them with another bamboo X1. But, you know, you're talking about $2,000. And I know someone out there is going to say, well, why don't you sell the other ones? Well, you want to know something? I don't think I could get much for one of the Crealities. I think at the most I could list it for maybe $100, and then you know darn well right, if you did that on Kijiji or one of those types of sites, right? Someone's going to show up on the doorstep and say, well, look, I got $50, I'll give you $50 for it. And I don't like that. I don't like to dicker about price. I mean, they're $400 machines. I don't think I could get any more than $100 for them. They work fine. There's nothing wrong with them. The problem is I am now spoiled with the bamboos because I like them a lot better. So I don't know. That's a thought that's going through my head right now. The other problem is I'm not sure where I'd put a new bamboo one because the AMSs, if you look over my shoulder, you can see the printer back there. And, oh, wait, I can do this. Let us hope. Button. Who's got the button? There you go. You can see the Crealities here in this picture. And, oh, maybe you can't. Can they? Yeah, they should be able to. No. Yes, they should be able to. We should see this come up here. Yep, there we go. The one at the very end, the big one, on top of it's got this thing that looks like a record holder. That kind of thing. Well, that's where all the filaments, 4 different colors of filament go into that. And that's called the AMS, the Automatic Materials Supply System. And they feed into the back of the printer and produce poop and other things. But it's a little tall. It fits in that spot because the cupboards end just before it. But if I was to get another one and put them on that counter, I wouldn't be able to put the AMS on top of it. But I could put it beside. You can do that. So, yeah, it's all a thought. In some ways, the Crealities are sitting there doing nothing at the moment because I'm somewhat, now that I've got the second bamboo, I kind of like, oh, I don't want to use the Crealities. But they do work fine. It's just they don't work as fine as the bamboo. So, I don't know. We'll see down the road. There's always plans. Let's see. Cheryl is here. Hi, Cheryl. Barb says, too bad you can't recycle the poop in your green bin. Yes, you can't. Looked into that, actually. Nope. It's not the right type of plastic for recycling. Andy's here. Hi, Andy. Christine says, I'm printing a Benchy on my first printer, the Bamboo Lab P1SJ. Yep. And you know, Christine, you're going to love the bamboo ones because they work right out of the box. When we got the first Creality, which was an Ender 3, oh my God. It was half a day putting it together, another half a day to try and figure out how it worked, and there was a lot of screaming at each other through that. But yeah, if you're going to get into 3D printing as your first time, spend the money and buy at least an A1, Bamboo A1. They're a smaller little printer, but they work really well. I've never used one, but you know, all the reviews I've seen online, and they work very much like the Bamboo. Like they all work kind of the same way. And it has an AMS, looks different than my AMS, and they're less expensive than the Bamboo X1C, but it's a great starter machine. I wish they were around when I first got into 3D printing because the headaches over the years that I've been through. Mind you, it's a learning curve. And it says, list it for 150 and give it to them for 100. Yes, that's an idea. You know, list high, go low, kind of a thing. But I don't know. I'll wait and see with it. Okay, so we got new windows. And I thought I'd have Walter tell you a little bit about the windows and what they're all about. We have some pictures because he's the one that made the decisions for most of these things. So I'm just going to throw up a picture here and talk about are the window we like the best. And there it is. This is in our family room. You'll notice there are no window dressings yet. We'll come to that in a minute. So, what makes this window better than what we had, Walter?
Oh, we had the original window had was 60 by 60, and it had a set of it was divided in half, where the lower half had a sliding glass window at the bottom and the top was fixed. And now what we have is a fixed left side and a casement window on the right. So,
And it opens right out onto our deck, and it's beautiful. They're nice and big. In fact, I almost hate to put any kind of window dressing on in a sense, because you get to see the forest in behind us, and it's a nice view. But the problem is it's a western exposure, and so if you like albino furniture, after a year or so of intense
yeah, and
sunlight.
our old window dressings don't fit on the new windows. So,
No, we have a problem because we got 10 new windows put in the house. And we've been looking, and we don't want curtains. Okay? We did have accordion type style, or what do they call them? Honeycomb? Or cellular blinds, whatever.
cellular, yeah.
And we really liked those, and unfortunately, none of them will fit in any windows except one. The window in Walter's sewing room, for some reason,
Yeah,
that one must have got cut a little, slightly shorter, and it'll fit.
I think it was as I realized that in the old window there's a little bit of space in between.
But here's the problem we've got with getting these. We don't want it. We are trying to avoid drilling holes into the vinyl. In that, those windows all went in as one big piece. They hacked out the old windows, and we have an all brick house, and so it's brick to brick installation, and they insert these big things right in as one piece, and then they do all kinds of caulking and all that kind of stuff, and it would be a shame to have to drill holes. We may come to that, but what you found.
I'm going through a company called Select Blinds, and they have a headrail that you can just that is a tension headrail for them. So I have ordered a blind with a tension headrail just to see how well it works.
Yeah. What, did you order it for this window?
No, I ordered it for the one
Oh
downstairs.
yeah, the one in the rec room. But to show you what the other windows look like, this is the bedroom, and we have 3 windows here, and these are really nice because, well, what do you do when you want to clean them?
Well, they're double sliders, so either window will slide, and they lift out for easy cleaning. There's a button you push, and you can just lift the
And it
window
just
out.
comes right out, like, yeah, for it. Because that, where those are located, is basically the second story.
Yeah,
Our house is a raised bungalow, but
yeah, the old windows we had in there are a real bugger to clean. So,
yeah, like as if we ever cleaned them.
and the other nice thing about those windows is the old windows were wood frame, and I had to repaint the outsides all the time. So these ones I don't have to repaint.
No, these are maintenance free, which is nice. Now this is in the bathroom. Same type of window, except we decided to go with what they call rain glass. And we don't have to worry about putting a window dressing on this one because we're not going to. We're going to leave it as it is. It lets in lots of light, and because it's rain glass, well, even though someone would have to be on a ladder to
be
peek
able
into
to
our
see,
bathroom, you know, ooh, hello, you know, kind of thing. Now the thing is, and I don't have a picture of that to show you, but we have 2 windows on the south side of our house, one in our dining room and one in that family room I just showed you, but off to where our kitchen table is. And they opened up in the bottom. We never opened them, so we just had a solid, no, you can't open the windows we put in there. But if we had been a lot swifter, we should have got rain glass in both of those, because then we could avoid any kind of window dressing on them. Because that goes right next door, the house next door to us, and they have windows that
Look into our
look
side.
into ours. they're a little paranoid. They know that Walter's a voyeur, so
Yeah,
they've got
they're paranoid on their windows. They have everything. They have like sticky stuffs on their windows, so that
Mac tack.
yeah, so that you can't see into their place, and I wouldn't want to see into their place.
Yeah, we don't
anyway. So
No, although we were sort of looking into the neighbors on the other side of us now that we don't have any window coverings on the rooms on that side of the house with the new windows. We kind of looked in to see what their decor is. We need window dressings because we don't want to look at that. But anyways, but yeah, this rain glass is kind of cool with it. So yeah, we got the new windows, and then okay, the guys that came to install them, they're a father-son team.
you put up the so I can see the comments.
Oh, jeez, you're such a pain in the butt. You really are. Some days I wonder. Fine, are you happy now?
Yeah.
Okay, so the company we went through is the company we got a couple of years ago to put in our new front doors and some of the windows in the front of the house, and we liked their workmanship and everything, and so we went with them again. And we got these windows, actually, and it was 10 new windows for a really decent price too. They were good. Not the cheapest out there, but we also, because we're repeat customers, they gave us 35% off or something. It might be a ploy, but
Yeah.
whatever. But the installers that work for them, it's a father and a son, and they're Russian background. And
Well, I think the son was born.
yeah,
here.
well, he doesn't have any accent, but the father definitely has a Russian accent, and he's funny, because he goes, "Okay, you know you must clean up all this around here. We want to have sub room." We go, "Yep, no problem. We will do that." Then he's showing us how to use the new windows, like how to open them, especially the bedroom ones and that for the cleaning. Now these are very nice because what you do is you push this, you slide this over here, you lift this up on here, you clean, you put it all back in. It's very nice. It works very well. I love these windows. Let's have vodka. So yeah, but they are really good installers. They did all 10 windows in one day. They clean up after themselves. I mean, we had to put all the furniture and stuff back and do a little dusting and that kind of thing. But, you know, they were really, really good. So if you live in our area, highly recommend Aurora Windows is the name of the company in Oshawa.
I mean, they're not a window company that's in Aurora.
No,
It's
no.
Aurora.
Their name is Aurora.
Aurora.
Yeah.
In Oshawa.
Yeah. But
Yeah, the installers. It's worth it for the installers because the
Alone, yeah.
installers are quite good.
and we've been very happy with the windows and the doors that we had replaced a couple of years ago. We've had no problems with them whatsoever.
Well, we had a problem with the transom.
Oh, well, the transom. Well, the transom's a special thing because it was a special order, and the company that built that for them.
I mean, we didn't have any problem with the window company and the installers. We just had a problem with the manufacturer
Of the transom.
Of the transom. But the windows themselves is actually a different company, and actually they're good quality windows. They're Vinyl Pro or something like that and they're made in Canada.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's all made in Canada. So, yeah, so we're very pleased with it. So then the Russian guy was looking at our patio doors. And our patio doors are in good shape, but they are 30 years old. But the seal hasn't broken on them or anything like that. You know, they don't let in drafts or anything like that. However, he said, "No, about these doors." And we go,
yeah, we could now our doors don't match our windows, so
Well, yeah, a little bit. It's not a major problem, but and he said, "Yeah, the doors that they get are the same as these windows and all this stuff." And I thought, next year.
yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Next
So
year.
so the installers are good, and I like that because I know another guy that got another company that's a big company here, Nordic or something, Windows, and he had nothing but problems with him.
Well, they broke one of the.
Yeah, they put in a sliding. They took him 4 times to fix to put in a sliding glass door. They put in a sliding glass door. The guy had ordered one that would lock. The first one they put in the door, and the door didn't have a lock on it. So then they had to get the lock. That it was a handle or something switch. So they got the lock, put it on, but in the process of putting the lock on, the installer broke the screen door. So then they had to come back and put the screen door, fix the screen in the screen door. They came in to put a new screen in the one that the screen that they broke. He broke the door part of it, the screen. So then they had to order a new screen. In the meantime, he had also these basement windows that he wanted to have replaced. And the company lost the windows. They said they were in, but they couldn't find them in the warehouse.
That gives you a great
So,
deal of confidence.
And it took them about 4 times to finally say that they couldn't find the windows, and then they had to reorder them again.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't recommend that company.
You get what you pay for.
And plus, the guys didn't look like they were very knowledgeable about
The installation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So whereas these guys we had, they knew exactly what they're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously they've done it many, many, many times before. And you know, you spend a lot of money on these windows, and I know you want to be polite and not ask us how much it cost us. It's $10,000 is what it cost us. So $1,000 a window, because we had 10, sort of, on that.
Well, the bedroom ones were a little less, and the bigger ones were more.
But it all works out. So I thought it would be a lot more than that when we were first going for it, and so I was very pleased that it was less than that. But yeah, you get what you pay for.
Actually, I think it is quieter. I think we don't get as much outside noise, but it's hard to say because
Yeah, well, we don't have a lot of noise here.
No, I know.
Because we back onto a forest. But I think we're going to see a great difference come this winter, because especially we had a window replaced in our rec room where our television set is and everything where we sit. And in the winter, you could definitely feel a draft coming through that window. Walter actually took stuff and sealed the window up.
But then actually I found out later when the installer came to measure the windows. The guy that installed the windows is also the one that measured the windows, so which is really good. And so he said, showed me something on the window in the back, and what the builder had done, and there was a space that underneath the window that wasn't insulated, and they had just put a piece of wood over top of it. Yeah. So that's why it was drafted.
And that's the way it's been for 30 years.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And but anyways, we're very happy with them. The price was right. The service was good. That's out of our hair. It's been an expensive year already, and we're not done with the year. And you know, one thing leads to another when you're making home improvements, because we have like 3 bathrooms that need to be pretty much gutted and redone, and that's... And then there's some floors and, a lot of things. Walter will just have to go out in the street and sell his body. Yeah. Who gave you the nickel? They all did. So anyways, that's our window story for you. Okay, people have been asking what my plans are for my birthday. Nothing. We had it. It's the pop-up soda yesterday.
Yeah, I usually take you out for dinner.
Yeah.
But we're going out for dinner on Tuesday.
But we're going out for dinner on somebody else's nickel, you cheap bastard. But
maybe we can go somewhere in London or something.
Oh, maybe. But no. Walter got us tickets when we go to London, as you know, for, I call it Avatar ABBA. What is the name of it? What did they call it?
I forget now. ABBA Voyager.
Oh, ABBA Voyager.
Or Voyage,
yeah. But basically it's where you're in an ABBA concert, but the concert is done by
supposedly 3D
holograms.
I'm not sure how they do it.
No. But they built a special theater for it.
Yeah.
And it's been running for a while.
3 years, actually.
3 years. So, yeah. And, of course, ABBA is my favorite group of all time. So, yeah, that's going to be great. And he bought me a new coat for London because, you know, what I had was not appropriate. And
no, what you had wasn't light and...
It wasn't what you like.
No, it wasn't. Yeah, no, you have frumpy old man coat. Yeah.
Frumpy old man coat. I've had that coat for years. No, I thought it was younger. Yeah, well, you have a closet full of coats. But if you saw Stephen and Walter live, or not live, if you saw So Chatty this past, we talked about our clothes. And I did
And
mention his shoes and his coats.
I guess Dubrovka bought a couple of air purifiers.
Oh, did you? And you love them. Yeah, I'm really happy with the one I've got. I've said to Walter too, maybe we should invest in another one for upstairs or something as well, because I really think they're great. So I'm glad you like them, Dubrovka too. So yeah, so on to the expensive dinner. We haven't had it yet. That's on Tuesday night. We're going to this place, and actually it was when I contacted the guys, our friends, and said to them, by the way, is there a dress code for this place? Because I mean, when a steak costs $520, you expect it's probably a little posh. I don't know this day and age. Do people get dressed to go out for dinner much? I don't know. That we're not getting the $520 steak, by the way. No, I don't think, unless they order it. And I will say, we're having what they're having. But it's still an expensive place. And these guys have been there many times before. It's one of their favorite places. They really like it. So, yeah. So I said, because I got thinking about it, we don't own any really dressy clothes anymore, especially since we retired. I mean, we don't go anywhere. Nobody we know is getting married anymore. They've all been through that and whatnot. Some of them are getting divorced or have been divorced for years, more or less. So it's not like we're going to weddings at this point in our life. And, well, you don't need to get really terribly dressed up if you have to go to a funeral, because they're dead. They don't notice about that. So, yeah, my basic uniform is what you see I have on. A Wally shirt and a pair of black jeans or shorts if it's summertime. Black shorts. That's it. And I wear those black jeans to everything, and you do too. We look like we've both are on the same bus excursion. Hello, thank you for flying with us. So I said, what are you guys wearing? Like, is there a dress code? And they just said, no, we're just wearing, casual pants and a shirt kind of a thing. I said, okay, good. Because that's what we'll be wearing as well, because I have nothing else. I said to Walter the other day, there's going to be something come up at some point where we'll have to go out shopping for like nice clothes for something. We don't even own a suit anymore. Grew out of it. I mean, the last suit I bought was I think the last suit I bought was the one we got married in.
Yeah.
Those suits. So that was 20 years ago, which is another thing. So on the 15th, which is Tuesday, my birthday's on the 14th, tomorrow. We go into Toronto on Tuesday. That's the 15th for dinner. That is also our wedding anniversary. It's 20 years that we got legally married. It's really not an anniversary we celebrate. We celebrate our real anniversary, which is in December. And that's 42 years this year. But, yeah.
That's the day we originally picked for celebrating
we picked our own. We picked that because it's the shortest day of the year.
Dubrovka wants the name of the restaurant. It's called Jacob's.
It's called Jacob's. We have never been there. You can look them up. Jacob's Steakhouse on the internet, and you can check out their menu online. It's pricey, very pricey, and the prices for the steaks, like for a 6 ounce.
No, it was they have a 4 ounce for $54, and then they have I think it's either an 8 ounce or a 12 ounce for $70.
Yeah,
it's an 8 ounce for $70.
Now, and I don't think it comes with anything else.
They have a special one that's $525 for 2 people.
Oh wow, what a bargain at half the price.
They have a lot of that Wagyu and Kobe stuff, and that's where you really run into the expensive steaks.
And I have no idea what their wines will be.
They weren't particularly cheap.
I don't imagine they are. We're not paying for it.
Mm-mm.
But, don't want to look a gift horse in the mouth either. So we're going to play very coy. What do you guys have?
Actually, their beer is reasonable.
Well,
Right,
Weekend of beer.
yeah.
Well, Bill won't want beer.
No.
He'll want wine. So Mark probably won't be drinking.
Probably not.
As
Yeah.
he's so I don't know. It could be awkward. So, anyways, we'll let you know what it's all about. Maybe I can do some video.
Yeah. If you look at the view menu thing, it says it's $4 sign. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I hope it's worth the money they're spending. They like it. They've been.
They have these huge steaks too, like really big ones. So like 14-ounce ribeye with a bone in.
The bone in, okay. So we'll see. We will see. But like I said, I don't think any of the steaks come with anything like potatoes or vegetables. That they have those, but I think they're all a la carte. And I think it might be like where it's family style in a sense. That seems to be a trendy thing these days. So, you spend $15 on a bowl of potatoes.
Yeah,
or
like
something.
they've got, this is a 2023 menu. They've got Canada Prime, Hereford X. They've got aged 45 days, and it comes in bone-in strip loin, T-bone, porterhouse, and ribeye. Well, the 18-ounce strip loin, which is huge, is $117.
Yikes.
But then they have like a 25-ounce
25
T-bone.
ounce.
Yeah,
Whoa.
it's 175.
You might as well just bring the whole cow and slap it on your plate.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
You could probably split one.
anyways, this is going to cost them. Yeah. Well, anyways, they want to do this because they said, because I've given them several quilts and some other things over the last few years and whatnot. And yeah, well, they asked me to make the first quilt. They want to commission me, and I said no. I said, you're my friends. I said, I'll make you a quilt, not a problem. And I know their style, so that was easy to do. And I've given them a couple. When they've come over here, I have a pile of them. I go, so, see anything you'd like? Help yourself, So they kind of like the old lady style fabrics, which is fine. I had a few of those. But anyways, it's nice of them to do this and everything, and we always have a good time when we're there with them. They are doing appetizers. They told us first before we go, chicken wings. Maybe there's a ploy. Maybe they figure to fill them up with chicken wings, and then we'll just get one steak for the table.
Yeah.
Everybody gets about. I don't know how that's
We'll
gonna
see.
be. But anyways, yeah.
We'll take their lead. They've been there
Yeah.
before, so we know.
Yeah, so no. Okay, so you noticed the new opening for us. Well, I'd like to say that I made that right from scratch. I did not. It took, initially when I did it, it took probably under a minute to make it. It's AI. It's AI generated. The song is AI generated. The thumbnail itself is not. I did that in another program. But the song that's there is AI generated. And
You didn't put very much information in either, did you?
no, I was getting to that.
Yeah.
But if you saw the little short piece that I did announcing the pop-up So Day, that with a music video, that was all AI generated. 2 different programs, one for the song, one for the video. I meshed the 2 together. Again, that took like 5 minutes to do that. So yeah, the graphics that are in it, I didn't select for those. And as far as the music is concerned, for this and for that, I only put in a title. I did 2 versions actually of the song for our opening here. The first one I just put in Stephen and Walter are live, our weekly broadcast. That's all I put in. And it created the first version, but the problem with the first version was and actually you heard the first version in the second song that was on the track, but you only heard part of it. It says, if you listen to it carefully, it says Stephen and Walter are live on, or are
No, you didn't have the R in it, did you?
no, are live on air or something. Live
Live
on air. Live. They said live instead of live. The AI on it, which is kind of
Yeah,
funny.
I think you had Stephen and Walter live on air.
Yes,
That's what
that
you put.
was it. That's what.
And it translated it as live on air.
Yeah. So that's kind of weird. But the second one, which was the first one on the soundtrack, all I put in for that was Stephen and Walter live.
Our live. You
Our
said
live.
yeah,
Our live. And I just put in quilting, sewing, and that's it. And it wrote that song. It's kind of scary. Really scary. But then I've been having a lot of fun with the program that I use, and it's called Suno. 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 But the thing is, it is a paid site. In fact, I did a little more research on the AI generated things, like for generating slideshows, for generating videos, for generating music and that. And yeah, they let you do a certain amount at the beginning for free. After that, they want money, and they want you to buy a subscription. And the subscriptions, depending on what site you go to, are extremely expensive. Like as much as several $100s a month. Well, I'm not going to use it that much. So no. So I took advantage of as much freebie as I possibly could get. But I have another one I want to play for you. This one's kind of a comedy song. What I put in was Walter's always right, Stephen's always wrong. So I've got it here, and hopefully this is going to work. And let me get it up here. The picture will be familiar. So here we go. Hope you can hear it.
Walter's got a crown made of plastic gold.
Is that microphone picking it up?
Looking tired and old.
Okay.
The room don't care, they just scroll their phones. Right or wrong, it's all the same. Life's a crooked little game.
Is it playing?
Walter's always right, Stephen's always wrong. The world's a jukebox, playing the same old song. But nobody cares at all. Stephen tries to speak, but his voice won't stick. Walter takes the mic with his usual trick. The crowd just yawns, they're half asleep. Truth is a mirror cracked in two. Who's the fool, me or you? Lines get blurry, shades of gray. Does it even matter anyway? Walter's always right, Stephen's always wrong. The world keeps spinning, dragging us along. But nobody cares at all. Truth is a mirror cracked in two. Who's the fool, me or you? Lines get blurry, shades of gray. Does it even matter anyway? Walter's always right, Stephen's always wrong. The world keeps spinning, dragging us along. But nobody cares at all.
So that just, and I had other songs too. I'm not going to play them for you, but yeah, it's kind of amazing with a minimal amount of information what this can do. Dubrovka says, my husband's saying I'm not dancing. Sue says, so funny. Melissa says, great picture, you two. Great song. Just joined out working on Acreage. So, yeah. But I was playing around until I ran out of credits. And I don't know if I can go back into it or not and do more after a day or two. Probably not. But I was putting in like some weird things. Like I did another song called I Fell in Love with a Drag Queen's Shoes, and that's why I'm gay. And another one was, if Romeo was gay and Juliet was trans, would Verona have been saved? So, and it does it. It puts that. And I made one actually that made me cry. I did a song about our cat Cleo when we had Cleo, and it was kind of tearful. And it was sort of a ballad, and it's kind of slow, and I didn't give it. All I said was, our cat Cleo was very perfect. We loved her very much. And it just went with it. So now here's the problem, though, and I've been doing some more research and looking on YouTube about all of this. Apparently, people have been making these songs, creating playlists, and posting them on Spotify, and they are getting millions of listens to them. And Spotify's been sort of encouraging it. There's a group called Velvet something. I can't remember the last name. They have a picture of the group, the whole bit. All AI generated. It all looks legit. The music is like, it sounds like someone sat down with a guitar and figured it all out and put it up. And they've got like 1 million listens to it on Spotify. Which is kind of scary, because now what's happening is the creative community in the music world are getting really pissed off, because those people earn their living from, writing and performing songs that they've created. And now some amateur like me, who has really no background in any of that kind of thing, just plugs in a few words and creates a hit. Like, not that mine are hits, but I mean, this is what's happening. And there are hundreds of these on Spotify.
Like, and the one that you did was pretty basic because you didn't have the full, what do you call it? The full package or whatever that they have, because there's options that you can do in these full packages that let you pick instruments and kinds of
add
like
other
that,
instruments to it. And like I really was limited to just, I could put in some words and I could put in style a little bit, like, and they give you a list of styles and it's very limited. Like, you could put in pop. I think I put in pop for those or something like that with it. But if you go on to Spotify, or if you go on to Suno, and you have to register with it first, but they don't take any credit card information or anything like that. But then you can see existing playlists of what other people have created, and there's quite a few in a variety of all kinds of styles. So it's kind of scary for the creative community to know that they are being replaced by AI. But I got thinking more about this, especially when I started to create the videos. And again, I had very limited access to these, but you saw, well, yesterday when we were on the pop-up, I showed you the video. Well, no, you saw it too. It was in, because I put it on YouTube, the little thing about advertising the pop-up show day. I mean, yeah, sure. The graphics are a little bit, like, weird in certain spots, but that took seconds to make. So, really scary. So, I was thinking, where else is this going to get even more scary? Well, 3D printing. I just saw a bunch of videos on YouTube where people are putting in a description of something they want to have a model made that they can change into an STL file. An STL file is what the 3D printers read to produce the image, and they're just describing it. They're going into things like Chat GPT, which has been around now for a while, and they're saying like a cat knitting a blanket with a dog sitting on its lap or something like that. It creates the 3D model. Then you need another program that you can convert whatever format they put that in into one that the printer can read. Now, it may not come out perfect, when you first do it, but if you know how to use some of the software to refine it, there you go. In other words, you don't have to make it from scratch. I haven't tried that yet. I am going to give it a go though and see what happens. But yeah, there's lots of that kind of stuff on YouTube. Another thing though that it's infiltrating, and the best example of this is on YouTube itself, because you know the advertising, right? YouTube, or the advertisers on a YouTube, or whoever makes their advertising, are using AI to produce ads quickly. And if you think about what an ad is usually made up of, it's made, you can tell, it's stock photos and stock video clips that are strung together with a soundtrack. There's a program right now, I used it actually to make the thumbnail for the live, called Canva. It is free, but it has limitations. But you can get like a monthly subscription. I do not have a monthly subscription because, again, I'm not wasting my money on something I would use every blue moon. But it will, if you pay for it, it has the ability to create a whole advertisement for you. You go in, you tell it the product you want, you put in a text and describe what you want it to say. It writes the script. It finds stock video clips and stock images from across the internet, puts it all together in a sequence. Bing, bang, you're done. And that's what a lot of the advertisements on YouTube are made of. And it's hard to tell whether it's AI. The other thing, and we've mentioned this before, that I am finding now is that if you go to like a documentary on YouTube or something, or an information newsy type of program, those are not made by people. Well, they are. They're people who've programmed it into the AI, and the AI does all the work and puts it together. Now, here's the problem that critics are coming up with. The AI, what it's projecting as the script, the information it is delivering is not necessarily right. It just scours the internet to pick up things, and we know that information on the internet is not necessarily accurate. There's a lot of misinformation. And so the worry there is that these things are going to come up. People are making these documentaries. Other people are going to think, oh, wow, like a human being is behind this. They've done all the research, so it must be accurate. And it's not. The AI isn't smart enough to make it accurate. All it does is string things together, smooths it out, and there it is. And it's got professional quality to it. So the way you detect this right now, but it's getting harder and harder, is listen to the voiceover. The voiceover, they're pretty good, but there's something about them. They lack, what I heard one critic say, is they lack spirit. And the same with the music. It lacks soul. There's something missing. You can detect it. That this is not a real human being here that's doing this stuff. But it's damn good. And the thing is, what I worry about from having taught media for years in a school is I'm worried about the kids. They need to have media education that includes AI, and maybe they do. I don't know. I mean, I've been retired for 13 years, so I'm not sure what they're doing in the schools anymore. But I would hope that now part of the media education is about AI and, the pros and the cons of using something like that, because we already have a generation that have no concept of what reality is, because they're bombarded on YouTube all the time, right? With stuff that looks real.
Or, the kids that play video games and stuff like that have an unrealistic view about, you hear about kids deciding to jump on top of a subway car for a ride or something like that, and then they get killed.
Yeah. Teresa says, does this mean
Milli
Vanilli was just ahead of his time? Yeah, because he got accused of lip syncing and all of that, right? What I hate about AI voiceovers is the mispronunciation word, like lead and versus lead. Yes, and actually, though they're getting better, but in the video that I put up on my channel, if you listen to it carefully, there's one line about, so bring your rotary quilt. It should be bring your rotary cutter. But it didn't know the difference. Now, I didn't even put in anything about a rotary quilter, or a rotary quilter, a rotary cutter into my description when I put in the words. So it just came up with that. But yeah, if you listen to it, it's like, no, you mean rotary cutter, not quilt. So there's an example of what you're talking about, Teresa. Andy says, I think AI will result in the loss of fundamental knowledge, how things work. I think you're right, Andy. I mean, for years we were told computers would replace humans. Yeah, well, this is computers replacing humans, except on an intellectual and creative level. And what's really going to be scary is when these computers start to figure out they are a entity, when they can actually have a consciousness. And that may sound far-fetched. It may sound like reference to Terminator, the movie, right? But they already have smart machines that learn from other machines and pick it up without any human intervention. So, yeah, we could be taken over by AI. It's kind of scary when you really think about it. And you think about how fast this has happened. You know, we're suddenly in a world of AI. It's like, bang, there it was. So kind of scary. And then think about our entertainment, like outside of YouTube. Movies, TV. Okay, for years movies have used computer-generated graphics. And the computer-generated graphics have gotten so good, it sometimes is very difficult to distinguish between an artificial environment as opposed to the real thing. Think about video games. They use artificial environments all the time. And if you go back to when we first saw Space Invaders and Pong, back in the early 80s and that kind of stuff, and look at the computer graphics now that these kids are playing, not just kids, adults too, usually ones that live in their mother's basement and they're 40 years old and haven't changed their clothes in about a year. Yeah. And a big pile of chicken bones behind them. But whatever. Computer, I don't play computer games, but the ones I've seen and go, holy crap, the realism in those games. So yeah, they've been doing that for quite a few years now in that environment. Well, natural extension is, and it's already happening, is to take AI generated movies. You won't need actors. Actors will lose their jobs. The actors that we have celebrity status will be fake. They don't really exist on there. Plot lines, script writers can be replaced out of it. It'll just be somebody that does some minor tweaking and editing with it. Even directors, they won't have to be on a set directing human beings. They can sit behind a keyboard and say, do this, and the AI will take over. So yeah, it's not just happening on YouTube.
I'm sure a lot of commercials are using generated jingles and things
sure
like that.
they are. Sure they are. With it. And they can knock it out, like hundreds of them. Like if you take a look at advertisements, I don't know if you've noticed this. Car ads, for example. They have the long version and they have shorter versions. But the shorter versions are snippets from the longer version that have been put together so it looks seamless. So however they work in advertising on, streaming television or regular television, that kind of thing, it's probably cheaper if they use up a shorter amount of time for that. So they can get it, they have various versions of it. Well, you can bet that is partially AI generated with it. So there. Then I got thinking about art and literature. Well, already know, and we've talked about this before, you can go into programs like Chat and have it do a picture for you from a description. A cat making a quilt Well, actually, you see an example of it here on our channel. If you look at the thumbnail for the beginning of So Chatty, that was all generated by AI. The gnomes working away, sewing. That whole thing I plugged in back half a year ago or so. I said, well, let's see if how this works. And I went into I think it was Chat GPT that I used. And I said, yeah, I want a YouTube thumbnail that has a couple of gnomes sewing. And I want the title So Chatty. So all I put in. It generated about 4 or 5 different versions of it. I picked the one I like best. So you see it. That was all AI generated. Because I don't have that kind of artistic ability to do it. So I'm using it as a tool. I'm not using it to though fake things, in the sense that, you know, doing a documentary on YouTube about something and having AI generate it. So again, how much is real? How much is fake? And thinking about literature, books can be written by AI. And they already have a lot out there already. Now, can an AI win a Pulitzer Prize or a Nobel Prize for literature?
And he says, can you imagine AI politicians? Well, they might be smarter.
Well, yeah, that's true. But yeah, I didn't even think about government uses for it beyond propaganda. But yeah, I mean, now when we go on, when you see a help section on a computer's, like an internet, a website, is what I'm trying to say. And you know, they have the assistant. Assistant is AI, right? We've all experienced that. It asks a series of questions and determines what answers it's going to give you and where it's going to take you. And they're getting better all the time. And they do make phone calls too. You get AI calling you up. And in one way, we used to know when the scammers, because yeah, scammers are already using this. You knew a scammer when you picked up the phone, because usually they had broken English, you know, and that kind of thing. Now, when the AI talks, it's not broken English and it doesn't have a heavy accent. You can understand it. And so you are taken aback by this. For a moment, you go, am I talking to a real person? You know, which means everything that we do, every transaction we make in the world, if we're not doing it face to face with a human being, we have to question everything. And that's going to make a whole society that is terribly suspicious of everybody else in society too. So, and we already are paranoid, you know, given the current situation in politics in the world. So yeah, now how does this affect us in the quilting and crafting world? I haven't done it yet. I have, well, that's not true, I have, but I did it about 6 months ago to see what would happen. They have gotten so much better, but you can probably go in and have AI write you a quilt pattern. Actually, you can go in and have a AI create a design for you for a quilt pattern and give you the instructions on how to write it. Which, okay, on the one hand, pattern writing is not easy, and you know, you've got something like this you could use as a tool. But on the other hand, there are people who actually make money from writing patterns. So, you know, taking away somebody's livelihood, doing that kind of thing. And this could be extended to the general crafting world as well. It's kind of like overwhelming and scary at the same time. So will we as humans then be replaced intellectually by machines? And to go back what Andy said, will we become stupid? I mean, there's a lot of stupid people already in the world, but this is only going to contribute more to it, to the point where younger generations coming up, if they're born into a world that's completely AI generated, they won't have to think.
I mean, as it is, a lot of the kids can't, if they're faced with if they're cashier and the cash goes down or something like that, and they have to do it by hand. Do they have to go and do, take cash by hand? A lot of them don't know how to add. So.
They don't know how to make change.
No.
I mean, if you walk in, of course, mind you, if we're moving towards a cashless society, they won't have to worry about that. Well, the only thing they'll have to know is, to hand you the box or whatever.
Yeah, but I mean, I think cash registers now tell you what to give as change, like 2 dimes and a nickel and something like that. But if they run out of dimes out of their till, they don't
know that
they don't
nickels
they
pick
can
up
use
that.
nickels instead.
It's very scary. I wonder how teachers will handle this. How the curriculum in schools will change, will be affected by this. And it's going to affect their music department, their English department, their languages department, their technical department, every department of the school, with maybe the exception of phys ed.
But phys ed probably would be able to have like gameplays made by AI.
Yeah,
like
true.
That.
Instead of having coaches do that and everything. So, yeah. So basically, you would have 2 teams on a football field that are actually in competition with AI because the AI told them where to go and what to do. I mean, I don't really understand football, but from what I gather, I've seen movies where they have little X's and O's or something on a whiteboard. I guess that's where players are supposed to run. There's arrows or something like that. So I don't know. It's all kind of scary, very scary. So, but I wanted to show you what anybody can do right now. You don't need a heck of a lot of talent. You just need the program and, plug in whatever you want and away you go. I'm not done playing with AI. I'm going to play more with it, as I said. And so in future lives, I'll show you what I come up with out of it. Yeah, it's a scary time in many regards. We as human beings are making ourselves go extinct. Just through this. I mean, we'll be extinct for other reasons too, but I mean, but just through this, the development of AI, it will be useless. We don't need to be anything. We'll be working for the robots. We'll be working for the AI. And we're back to Terminator when we talk about that. Okay, so anyways, moving on. Now, I didn't get to this last week, but I want to get to it this week. We had some comments about when we were talking about duty charges and everything. I explained to you about that lovely gift that Julie sent to me and how basically UPS charged me for duty and everything like that, and she'd already paid for shipping and stuff like that. So yeah, how we're being basically ripped off by these parcel delivery companies. But we got some responses here to that. Darrelland said, UPS is the absolute worst with the brokerage fee. Several times they tried to collect money from me when the company that sent me products already covered all duty and taxes. I've had to have the company deal with UPS to have them stand down. No other courier service, including Canada Post, has ever done this in my experience. I won't buy anything from a store that ships UPS. And that's the same sentiment that we have as well. UPS is crooked. They cover it up by saying, that, well, they have to collect this for the government and do this kind of stuff. But no, they're double dipping. Sarah said, I have run into this when I order from Cotton Cuts. The brokerage fees are more than the taxes. MSQC, which is a Missouri Star Quilt Company, this doesn't happen. Connecting Threads has a Canadian warehouse, so they ship it from this side of the border. These charges have severely decreased the amount of fabric I order online. Helps me to shop in Canada. Yeah, so I guess that's the silver lining to this cloud here. And then Marjan wrote, I understand that fabric is a raw good. Clothing is a finished good. Yardage of a fabric is considered raw goods. That has been our customs tariffs issue. It's an interesting issue to see it shake down. Yeah, we talked about when I did the thing showing how you calculate tariff, and there wasn't a category for quilting cotton or fabric in general. Closest I could come up with clothing. So, and that's probably the reason they don't know what they're going to do about that yet.
Well, the tariffs on our Canadian side are reciprocal tariffs anyway.
Yeah.
They were put on things that we can readily get as Canadian as we don't have to buy it like an American product or something.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, I don't know. We're all going to hell in a handbasket, I guess. But anyways, so thank you again to everybody who came out to the pop-up sew day. It was a blast. And thank you for those of you that sent me some birthday wishes as well. You only turned 29 12 times. So, I'm holding at that. 29 and holding. And Walter's laughing away in his mind because tomorrow I become older than him.
Right now, you're still the same.
I'm still a same age. We're 6 months difference. Yeah. But, he likes to remind me that I'm getting old. And he keeps reminding me he's never going to get old. So, anyways, that's it. Thanks for joining us today. And hope everybody has a good week and what's left of today. And remember, there is no sewing with Stephen this coming Wednesday. We'll resume in a week's time for that, and we'll tell you
1 week.
That's right. Then we'll be gone.
Another one.
Ooh, yeah, forgot about that. We'll only because we go off to the UK. Yeah, lots of things coming up. Where's the summer going? Okay, have a good week. We'll see you all later.